The reputation the Darkhand carried. "No," Kadish said. "The Sun Guild isn't finished with our city just yet. He's here in Veldaren, and he'll be here for our meeting, even if he makes us wait a few hours." "What makes you so certain?" Kadish crossed his arms and leaned against one of the 9 support beams throughout the middle of the building. The wood was rough and splintered, but his long brown cloak kept him safe from its discomfort. His brow furrowed, and he let his voice drop in hopes that only Carlyle and not the rest of his hidden men would hear. "Because a man with a reputation like Muzien's doesn't get it through accident," he said. "He gets it by working his arse off for it, and making sure nothing tarnishes it. He's like Thren in that regard, except even better, if we're to believe the stories. By Karak, I think every child alive has heard the tale of Muzien's red wine." Carlyle snickered. "Well," he said, "make sure you don't drink anything that elf offers you then, eh?" "Indeed. But my point is, calling us here for a meeting and then flaking? All it takes are a few whispers by me, and everyone hears of his cowardice, his unreliability. He won't allow it, no matter how petty. He wants us afraid, every single one of us. I have a feeling we're not the first he'll talk to tonight." "Perhaps," said Carlyle, "but we'll sure as shit be the last he talks to." "I pray we are." With a sudden bang, the worn door blocking the only entrance to the building smacked open. Despite the many hours of waiting, despite his fear of the unknown guildmaster of the Suns, Kadish felt relief that the time had finally come. In through the door walked 2 hard-looking men dressed in dark grays and tightly fitted clothing. Daggers gleamed from their belts. They wore no cloaks, instead bearing the 4-pointed star sewn just above their hearts. From what Kadish had learned, the rings in their ears signified solo kills, and each man had at least a dozen hoops and studs. They strode in without pause, their eyes scanning every corner of the room. Kadish swallowed, trusting his men to be adequately hidden. And then in stepped the Darkhand. He was tall, and despite the long, dark coat he wore, it was striking how slender an elf Muzien was. That slenderness belied a smooth strength, for each step he took was carefully weighted, every twitch of his muscles like that of a feline predator. His hair was a dark umber, the front of which was hooked into 2 braids and tied behind his head. From his hips swayed 2 swords, mimicking him in length and slenderness. Upon entering the building, Muzien glanced about the place, seeing the tall stacks of hay, and smirked. That done, he brought his attention to Kadish as he moved to join his 2 acquaintances. The moment those cool blue eyes settled on Kadish, he felt his scrotum tighten, felt the air around him thicken. Kadish had met hard men, had spent decades among those who viewed life as something to trade and fuck and cut short without a second thought. He'd not seen eyes quite like Muzien's. Beneath that gaze, Kadish felt like an insect seeking an audience with the boot about to crush him beneath its heel. Welcome to Veldaren," Kadish said, gathering his senses. He expected better of himself, and he used his wounded pride to find the strength to stand a little taller and let a bit of mockery enter his voice. "I pray you won't be staying long?" Muzien stood several feet opposite Kadish, with his bodyguards on either side. His long, pale fingers slowly twirled a gold band on the index finger of his left hand, which, true to his name, appeared to have been crafted out of coals instead of flesh. "I'll stay until my task here is done," he said, openly staring at Kadish. Disliking the cryptic answer, Kadish felt himself snap. "Not sure that's wise," he said. "Your kind ain't wanted here, Muzien. You think your little trick with your ears fools anybody?" Muzien tilted his head slightly to one side, as if amused.